Thank you, Brian. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To officiate at the presentation for the 1989 Coca-Cola Bottlers Miracle Mile, the President of the New South Wales Harness Racing Club, Mr. Lindsay Nicol.
Thank you, Bruce. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To the Minister for Racing, Mr. Bob Rowland-Smith, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Committee of the New South Wales Harness Racing, it is my pleasure to extend to you a warm welcome. Tonight, every aspect of the Miracle Mile has been very satisfying indeed. I'd like to firstly thank all of those concerned, particularly the office staff, the track staff, the catering, and particularly the media. The coverage has been sensational, and we really appreciate that. And finally, I'd like to thank the participants of the race. They all performed magnificently, and that 26-2 in the first quarter is something that I've never seen here before at any rate. The race had everything. It had all the incitement in the world, and that is what brings people to this track. To our new sponsors, Coca-Cola, thanks very much. Your participation in this race has been magnificent, and we are most appreciative of it here at Harold Park, and we trust that your outlay is justified. I'd like to introduce to you to the microphone the Minister for Racing, Mr. Bob Rowland-Smith. Thank you.
Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what indeed a fantastic race. And there's no doubt that Vic Frost, with his great horse tonight, really put up the best performance I think's been seen for a long time in the Miracle Mile. This wonderful race would be, next to the Inter-Dominion, the greatest race in Australasia. Back in 1967, when it first commenced, Robin Dundee was the only mare she won then, and she's been the only mare to win ever since. But tonight we've seen Vic Frost bring home his second winner. He drove Lucky Speed, I think it was, back in the early 70s. And congratulations to you, Vic. I would also like to congratulate the Harold Park Club for putting on such a magnificent performance this evening, a most wonderful evening. But ladies and gentlemen, a great crowd here tonight. Just imagine in a few years' time when you go out to Homebush, we'll have the best harness track in the world. You just have to be a little patient. Anyway, it gives me very much pleasure to present on behalf of the club the Miracle Mile Trophy to Barney Breen, the owner of Westburn Grant. Barney, oh Jesus, don't drop that. You're right. Hang on.
Okay then, we'll take the trophy back.
You're right.
You respond, Barney, please, would you?
I just wanted to say a word. You go ahead. No, I'll say a few words. Yeah. And to that great trainer, driver, Vic Frost. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Miracle Mile remains in New South Wales. And whilst we are the premier state in everything, it's wonderful to know that we're a premier state in harness racing. So congratulations to Vic Frost. Go ahead, Barney. Mr. Barney Breen.
Yeah. Mr. Nicol, Mr. Rowland-Smith, Mr. Hagley, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I must thank all you people for giving this horse such a lovely reception. You make a lovely sight from down here, all your colours and so forth, and we thank you very much for your applause you gave the horse. Now, I must thank the New South Wales Harness Racing Club for inviting us into this race. I think it's a real honour to be invited to this prestigious race, and it gives us great pleasure to have won it. And I must thank the Frosts very much for the way they've turned Westburn Grant out to win this prestigious race. Westburn Grant, he's a lovely horse. He's got high speed, he's got the endurance of a camel, and he's got the manners of a well-trained boy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must thank you all very much again for your applause. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Ron Pugsley, who's General Manager of Coca-Cola. Now, this is the first year that Coca-Cola have sponsored this wonderful race. Previously, it had been WD and H.O. Wills. But I know, Mr. Pugsley, that since you've been here tonight, you can see how wonderful harness racing is, and I am sure that Coca-Cola will continue to be sponsors of this great race in the future.
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to thank the New South Wales Harness Racing Club for the excellent event that they've put on tonight. They really have done an outstanding performance. I think that's recognised in the crowd that's been here tonight. You've all witnessed an absolutely magnificent event. This is the first time that we've been involved in the sponsorship of the Miracle Mile, and we look forward to our continued involvement in the years to come. Certainly with Tess Gleeson adding a new dimension to the race this year, being the first woman to compete, we really have had an excellent return for the investment that we've made in the sponsorship. We look forward to that continued investment and the continued support of horse racing, harness racing here in New South Wales. Thank you. I guess I get the real honour of presenting the trophy to the owner, trainer, driver, Vic Frost. Vic, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay.
Just move the microphone, Ron. That's it.
Mr. Pugsley, Mr. Roland Smith, ladies and gentlemen, it's certainly a great honour tonight to win the Miracle Mile. As someone said earlier, I've only had 3 drives in the Miracle Mile, and I've won 2 out of 3, so I suppose I've got an excellent record. But the other years it's been run, I haven't had a horse good enough to go in it. So, but anyway, this horse has certainly made up for all those times when maybe I should have had a runner and probably wasn't good enough to win anyway. But I'd like to thank the people who have sort of helped me get this horse back to the track. Ray Westby, I've been stabling down at his place, and he's been looking after the horse when I haven't been able to get back of an afternoon, and Greg, who has been helping me swim the horse. And I'd like to thank Chris Robinson. He's had a horse to work with me on the beach and over at the track when I needed it. So I really owe those guys sort of a lot for me to be back here at the track tonight in great form like Westburn Grant won. Thanks very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes your presentation. I'll now ask the Minister, Mr. Roland Smith, and Mr. Pugsley to rug and to sash the winner. Thank you very much. Good punting for the rest of the evening.